Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we will be checking out Chakkona's kit. Her kit is finally in game, which is actually very good. Now, they already gave us some details on what Chaccona is able to do in the 2.3 live stream. So we already know that she can, she can apply Aero Erosion, and she can also apply Spectral Frazzle, which is very good. And I think she can also amplify Aero Erosion damage as well. So we're gonna see, what else she can do because her kit is in game. Yo, what's going on, Zani? Oh shit. Anyway, dude, I'm not gonna lie, man. Ever since I got Zani, it's like my luck, like not even my luck. Ever since I summoned for Zani, it's like my luck has been dog shit lately. I don't understand why. Like my luck in Black Beacon was terrible. It's just crazy as fuck, man. But let's come over here to I think we come over here to gallery. Yeah, gallery. And then we come to crossing stars, and as you guys can see, Ciaccona is here. Holy shit, I ain't gonna lie, man, she got thighs for days. So let's see what our girl can do, man. Let's see what she can do. Okay, so first things first, we have normal attack. So it says deal arrow damage, basic attack 4, inflicts Aero Erosion on the target. Interruptions to basic attack 4 generate an ensemble sylph. So she can actually apply Aero Erosion with 4th basic attack. When she uses basic attack 4, she inflicts Aero Erosion. That's actually pretty good. Actually very good. Ensemble Sylph, it says finishes Chakkona's interrupted attack after being generated. All nearby resonators in the team gain arrow damage bonus when a green light circle appears beneath Chaccona or Ensemble Sylph. Very interesting. So she pretty much increases arrow damage. Very nice. Do we know the amount though? I don't think we know the amount, unfortunately. Okay, so deal heavy attack damage. Aim attack, deal arrow damage. Consider heavy attack damage midair. Okay, nothing too serious there. So from her normal attack, she applies Aero Erosion on the target with her basic attack 4, and then ensemble sylph, whatever you call this, she's able to amplify arrow damage bonus when a green light circle appears beneath Chaccona. Okay, now for her resonant skill, it says deal arrow damage and inflict Aero Erosion on the target. Interruptions to some of the normal attacks generate ensemble sylph. So far she has like 2. She's able to inflict Aero Erosion from her normal attack, basic attack 4, and her resonant skill. Holy shit, dude. She's probably going to inflict a lot of Aero Erosion. Can we see the damage here? Okay, it's nothing too serious. All right, so we move on to her Resonance Liberation. It says deal arrow damage and enter an enhanced state. In enhanced state, press the interactive button at the right time to deal arrow damage and trigger different effects based on the color of the button hit. Green, it says inflict erosion, and yellow, inflict spectral frazzle. Chakona will stay in the enhanced state after switching to other resonators and will trigger the effect of the last hit button again before the switch. Ensemble Sylph's arrow damage bonus effect can be triggered in the enhanced state. Very nice. So she's able to apply that arrow damage bonus within her ult as well, which is very good. So now let's go and take a look at her Forte. Okay, so her Forte circuit seems very simple. Is it because I have this turned on? Okay, no wonder. It's because I have that turned on. Okay, it's a lot more complicated, but this is way better because there's too much yapping in these kids. Okay, so for her Forte circuit, all right, so it says basic attacks and intro skill restore Forte Gouge. When Forte Gouge is full, enhanced heavy attack is enabled. Enhanced heavy attack, deal arrow damage and inflict Aero Erosion on the target, continuously pulling in nearby targets. All right, and we turn this off. So it says inflicting 1 stack of Aero Erosion on the target hit. So she can inflict 1 stack over here. And it says musical essence, Chakona can hold up to 3 segments of musical essence. Casting basic attack stage 4 or intro skill recovers 1 segment of musical essence. Okay, so for this one, she's able to inflict 1 stack of Aero Erosion, and then for her resonance skill, okay, 1 stack of Aero Erosion with her resonance skill. And then for normal attack, basic attack stage 4 inflicts 1 stack of Aero Erosion. So that's pretty much 3 stacks in total, right? So if you do her basic attack 4, you do a resonance skill, and of course you got that Forte circuit, that is 3 stacks of Aero Erosion. And then for her resonance liberation, let's see this over here. How many stacks can she inflict? If we take a look, I can't really. Okay, it says Chakona is immune to interruptions and takes 50% less damage. Okay. Exit recital by pressing resonance liberation again or switching Chakona back onto the field. Can now directly grant arrow damage bonus provided by solo concert. Deal arrow damage to nearby targets and inflict a stack of arrow erosion on targets hit. In a yellow tonic, deal arrow damage to nearby targets and inflict a stack of spectral frazzle on targets hit. So that's pretty much like 4 stacks. But I'm pretty sure for like her ultimate, she can like, you know, keep inflicting that stack over and over again. So I will say for like her ultimate, it really depends on how long her ult is. So when we look at the duration over here, successful interaction concerted regen. I don't really know, but depending on like how many times she can inflict that stack and how long her ultimate lasts, that's really what matters, to be honest. So now we move on to her inherent skill. So it says casting Resonance Liberation, Singer's Triple Cadenza grants Chakona a shield equal to 100% of her max HP for 4 seconds. Switching out Chakona removes the shield. So, okay, she's only able to apply this shield to herself. She can't apply it to anybody else. Because if that was the case, man, that would have been Brant 2.0. And last but not least, we have this one over here. It says increases heavy attack quadruple downbeats damage by 30%. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie, man, her inherent skill looks kind of mid. It really does look mid because this unit, like, she literally gives me like support vibes already. So seeing how she's able to apply shield to herself and she's able to amplify her damage, it seems kind of sus. I ain't gonna lie. It seems like a waste for her inherent skill. But let's take a look at her outro skill. It says air erosion damage dealt to targets near the active resonator is amplified by 100% for 30 seconds. Wow, that is actually crazy. So you pretty much get like a 100% aero erosion damage bonus, which is really good. But 30 seconds is also insane as well. So let's take a look at her intro skill. What can she do? So attack the target to deal arrow damage and inflict a stack of arrow erosion. Follow up with basic attack in time 2 to cast basic attack stage 3. So she can also inflict another stack of arrow erosion with her intro skill. So far that is like 2, not even 2. That's like, okay, arrow erosion in her normal attack, resonance skill, Forte circuit, resonance liberation. Dude, she can inflict it. Like her entire kit is just arrow erosion, which is really insane. So she's going to be like the top unit when it comes to inflicting arrow erosion, which is really good overall. So I will say her kit on paper, really nice. Like she's gonna be, of course, the best of the best when it comes to arrow erosion teams. Plus, if you guys don't know already, Cardathea, I'm pretty sure she is going to be an arrow unit, and she's probably going to rely on arrow erosion. So, you know, Cardathea, I'm not Cardathea, but Chakona, this unit is definitely going to be a must-have unit, especially for Cardathea. Now, let's take a look at her resonance chain. So, for her first copy, it says casting resonance skill harmonic allegro grants Chakona immunity to interruption for 3 seconds. Casting basic attack increases Chacona's attack by 35% for 10 seconds. Okay. This over here, it says resonators in the team gain 40% arrow damage bonus. Okay, not bad. What about this one? Grants 1 segment of musical essence. Okay. What about this? Chakona ignores 45% of the target's defense when dealing damage with heavy attack. Chakona ignores 45% of target's defense when dealing resonance liberation damage. Okay. And then over here, okay. And then last but not least, we have this one. Chakona or Ensemble Civ deals arrow damage equal to 220% of Chakona's attack to nearby targets, considered resonance liberation damage. Honestly, I think if you get more dupes on her, she's going to become like a DPS unit. Who knows? But this unit really just comes off as an enabler for arrow erosion team comp. Now, can we take a look at the weapons? Like, can we actually take a look at the weapon? Like her 5-star weapon. Okay, I can't find the weapon on the game for some reason. I can't find it. So let's go ahead and read it over here. This is on the website. It says, okay, so her, of course, the element is arrow, weapon type is pistol, team role, of course, she's a sub DPS and support unit. So okay, when we take a look at the weapon, okay, so for the weapon, it says crit rate 36% crit rate. Weapon effect, it says attack is increased by 12% when inflicting arrow erosion on target, gain a 24% arrow damage bonus for 10 seconds. Hitting targets with arrow erosion reduces their arrow resistance by 10% for 20 seconds. So, excuse me, Her weapon seems really, really solid. Now, I'm not gonna lie, man. She gives me DPS, like sub DPS vibes, because her kit, not only is she like inflicting, Aero Erosion stacks on the enemy, but she's also like amplifying her own damage. So something tells me that Chakona is going to be a unit where while you're applying Aero Erosion on the enemy so that your other units can function properly, she's also going to deal some pretty decent damage. I don't think it's going to be insane, but I think it's going to be decent damage. So therefore, she's going to be like a sub DPS unit. Now, of course, the ideal teams I can think of as of to right now for Chakona would be Aero Rover, Chakona, and of course Cardathea. That would be the team for her. Now, when it comes to like her, 5-star weapons, I will say Static Miss. I am going to use Static Miss on her. If I could actually find it, there it is. So Static Miss is actually going to be pretty good. You got that crit rate, increases energy regen, and attack. Really, really good. So we're going to put Static Miss on her. We're not going to sub it for her weapon. I will say her weapon looks really cool, but it's funny how like she doesn't even use her weapon at all. Like when it comes to gameplay, she does not use it. She's using like this mic stand, this microphone stand. Is crazy. But yeah, I'm excited for Chakona, but as you guys can see, we have like 15 pulls over here. I'm saving up for her. I'm saving up for her because I do feel like Chakona is going to be like a must-have unit, especially for future characters who rely on Aero Erosion. And when it comes to like Gion team comps, the fact that she can amplify Aero damage, she's probably going to be like really good in Gion team, like it would be Gion, Mortefi, and Chakona. That might be pretty good, but the fact that she doesn't have any heals in her kit, you're gonna have to be very careful when it comes to receiving damage. But overall, character seems pretty good, seems pretty solid. We're gonna have to wait and see how she performs in game, but as up to right now, she's definitely going to be very important in Aero Erosion team comps. And I highly recommend you guys, like if you're deciding if you want to sub it for Zani or not, once again, Zani she's very restrictive when it comes to team comps. So if you want your Aero Rover to be useful and you're trying to get Cardathea, I would highly recommend you guys to summon for Chakona instead, because Chakona, I do believe that Chakona has more value than Zani due to the fact that Chakona is going to enable more team comps than Zani. Zani is not an enabler. She's more like a DPS unit. Meanwhile, Chakona, she's an enabler. She's going to be pretty much needed in every single Aero Erosion team. And knowing how, Cruel Games, they're heading towards this like negative stats effect meta where, characters are relying on negative stats effect in order for them to, actually work and function properly. A unit like Chakona that can actually inflict Aero Erosion, you're going to need that. So I would highly recommend you guys to save up your pool, save up your all your currency, everything for Chakona, so that once Cardathea drops, you'll be good to go. That's pretty much my plan. We're going to save up for Chakona, and hopefully we can actually get the character. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below about Chakona's kit. I think she's a pretty solid unit. We're going to have to see when to see her gameplay. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys have a good one. I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Adios.